Well, today is July 13th, 2015, and I just came back from Food Pantry. I've been living here in this apartment for just over a year, roughly July 3rd of 2014, I think I moved back in here. And I just came back from the Food Pantry, which I think is something that more and more people who have never done in the past are going to find themselves doing. As we look at more and more countries facing austerity, like Greece is facing now. Some people in Greece are saying that they're fed up with being the guinea pigs, or the people that are experimented on, you know, the society that's being experimented with regarding austerity. And I think that's probably the case. I think they really are being experimented on in terms of austerity, and that more and more societies are going to find themselves facing more and more austere conditions. And so I'm probably going to do more and more videos about how I'm dealing with austere conditions. And so part of what I do is I go to the food pantry to cut back on my food bills. I was going to try to not go in the summertime, because I know that the summertime is when you have more need and less produce, less products that are available. So I did a report in college on food pantries, and in that report I found out that, you know, you've got the fall harvest, and so the fall harvest builds up your supply of food for the winter time, but that in the winter time kids are in school, so there's less of a need for food in the winter time. The kids coming home for the summertime increases the need for food to be at home in the summertime, at the same time that the food pantries are running low on their products that they can distribute. So for that reason, I do two things when I go to the food pantry. One, I try not to go. Two, or I try to limit how frequently I go. And the second thing is, when I do go, I try to go during like the last part of that day. Like if the food pantry closes at 2 o'clock, it opens at 10 o'clock and closes at 2 o'clock, I'll try to not get there until 1 o'clock. That way families that have children can get first dibs at the food, and I'm basically going in to get what's left over, since I don't have kids. But there's still, what I'm finding is there's still plenty of food at the food pantries, quite a bit of which isn't about to expire. Last year I found that there was a great deal of the food, the fresh produce, was just about to expire or had already expired. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort through. I'm going to try to sort it through the way so that I can consume what's about to expire or has already expired soon, rather than leaving that in the refrigerator or in the cabinets for a longer period of time. So what I've got here is juice. It says July 13, 15. That's today. So this is what I'm going to try to consume quickly. November of 2015. That doesn't need to be eaten so quickly. What we've got here, July 30th. That's not going to need to be eaten so quickly. July 30th. Chocolate, I don't think that'll ever go bad. It's saying, it's actually saying May of 2015. This one says February of 2015, but it's chocolate. You know what, I did get a can of pumpkin, so the chocolate and the pumpkin will go good together. Here's the pumpkin. 2016. So I'm going to say there's no rush in eating either of these items. We have here lettuce, July 7th, so that's going to have to get eaten quickly. July 8th, that's going to have to get eaten quickly, or discarded. If I open it up and it stinks or it looks really bad, it's not even going to get consumed. It's going to go straight into the garbage. If someone feels that that's being wasteful, I'm not going to end up with a large medical bill because I wanted to consume a $3 package of food. That's just not going to happen. All right, we've got August of 2016. That should get eaten fairly soon. Got some turkey drumsticks. I like turkey, and I like drumsticks. These are frozen. Because they're frozen and they look decent, I'm going to say that they don't have to be consumed quickly. They'll go straight into the freezer. I should say, in this past year, I haven't been sick at all. I have not one day where I had to miss work for being ill. So if somebody out there says, oh my God, Frank threw some food out that he got from the food pantry, that's asinine. I haven't gotten sick, and this is part of what I do to make sure I don't get sick. This is July 2015, so this should be eaten soon. February of 2015, so this should be consumed soon or thrown out. July 21st. That's a whole week away. July 1st. See what we got here. Non-GMO, gluten-free. I'm going to consume this one right now. This is the same thing. So, you know what? I'm not going to consume it on camera. Some onions. I don't see any signs of pests in there. They don't feel mushy. So I'm going to put the onions in this little bin right now. I'll probably eat that orange before I go to work tonight. You know, one frustration with going to the food pantry is when you're working, frequently you've got the same hours as when the food pantry's open. So the more you start to work, the more difficult it becomes to get to the food pantry in the first place. I happen to be lucky in that in delivering pizzas, I'm working nights instead of days. So the day, the 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock time that the food pantry is open, I have the availability to get out to the food pantry. There's been several weeks in the past year where I haven't had the opportunity to get to the food pantry because I was at work. But despite the fact that I'm working about 60 hours a week, through paying rent and paying utilities, there's still a shortfall in my income to where the food pantry helps out tremendously so that I can pay rent and so that I can pay utilities. And I don't even have cable. I mean, I've heard of people with cable bills of $200 a month or at least $100 a month. I don't even have cable. All I've got is like a $35 a month internet connection and a television antenna, a good television antenna. I spent $65 at Walmart to get a really good television antenna. Picks up plenty of channels for me. More channels than I keep plenty entertained with the channels that I've got. So in fact, I might just pan over to the style of antenna, because if you're looking into cutting your entertainment bill, oh, The antenna's not where I usually kept it. I should be able to pull it out and show it right here. Yeah. Alright, this is the antenna. Cost $65 at Walmart. Maybe now they've raised it up to 70 or so. But I got it at Walmart for $65, and it does a really good job of pulling in television signals, digital television signals. And the place that I have it set at right now, it picks up more channels than if it was up above my TV. So let's see, here we got June 20th of 15, so that should be eaten soon. This is going straight into the garbage. Somebody stuffed this into my box before I could tell them I can't eat anything that has wheat. And because it doesn't say gluten-free, you know, it's the modified cornstarch probably has gluten in it. Some modified food cornstarch does not have gluten, but I'm not going to risk it. So, like I said, I did not put that into the box. Somebody at the food pantry put that into my box before I could stop them. They were putting other stuff that I was able to stop. All right, so this has a date of I don't see a date. Oh, there it is. August. Looks like August 20th of 15. So I'm going to say there's no real rush on that. So there we go. Okay. So now these turkey legs. Say this one looks like the better of the two. I'm going to put this one straight into the refrigerator so that it can thaw out over the next 2 or 3 days. And let me show you that I just put it into a bin that does not have any other food. This one I'm going to put, let's see, make sure you've got the whole fridge in your sight. You do. This one I'm going to put straight into the freezer. Like I said, the better of the two is in my refrigerator right now. If that one stinks, there's no doubt that the other one's going to stink when it thaws out. So if that one does stink, then both of them are going into the garbage. And like I said, 1 full year I've been going to the food pantries. Maybe there might be 1 month where I didn't go, but for the most part, every month for the last 12 months, I've gone to the food pantry at least once. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have never once gotten sick. And that's why I'm saying, don't hesitate to throw something out if it looks or smells like it's going to hurt your family. I'm going to drink one of these right away. The other one into the fridge. All of these into the fridge. I doubt these will be bad, but I'm going to test one. This product probably does not need refrigeration. It probably says refrigerate after opening, which would mean that it ordinarily is not refrigerated, but I'm going to refrigerate it anyhow because it stays fresh, 7 to 10 days, refrigerator after opening, in refrigerator after opening. So ordinarily this doesn't need to be refrigerated, but they refrigerated it at the food pantry for good reason. Things tend to last longer when they're refrigerated. So I'm going to refrigerate this just to help slow down the process by which it goes bad. All right. I'll probably take these with me tonight when I go to work. This one doesn't need to be consumed right away. These don't need to be consumed right away. So for right now, I'll just place them right here. I'm going to put the chocolate in the fridge just because in the summertime, chocolate tends to melt in my hands, but it doesn't seem to make that mess if it's refrigerated. A can of pumpkin. That up here for now. Black beans. And corn checks into the cereal. All right, well, I'm about to consume these. I'm sure you don't want to watch me drinking them. So, let's see how many minutes. Oh, I was going to show you one thing in the fridge. I have one bin where things like frozen chicken and frozen turkey thaw. It's dedicated to thawing things because sometimes the the chicken will lose its juices. So, I might switch eventually to, no, they're the same size. I think this is the same size as this. This is too small to hold a frozen chicken. I believe it's too small. I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to try to put a frozen chicken in there. I don't know why I have that purple cover in there. But I don't think a frozen chicken will fit in there. Huh. It might. That would be much nicer. No, it won't. No, frozen chickens tend to be commonplace at the food pantry. In other words, you tend to get a lot of frozen chickens. It's been a while since I've gotten one, but there was a point in time where every time you'd go, you'd get a frozen chicken. Anyhow, the reason I'm putting the turkey down there is because sometimes the chicken or the turkey will drip its juices as it thaws into beyond the packaging and into wherever it's being stored. And rather than contaminating food that might get eaten without being cooked, I want to keep the raw chicken and raw turkey in its own little bin. Again, 1 full year I've been going to the food pantry, 1 full year not sick whatsoever, let alone sick enough to miss a day's work. That's all I'm trying to convey. The camera's about to run out of time. We'll see you. Bye. Bye.